Thank you, everyone. Now we can start our live session. And in today's session, we are going to see how to create a simple React application and how to create a web application also. So in the first session, we will be seeing how to create a simple React application. So in order to do that, we need Visual Studio Code Editor. And apart from Visual Studio Code Editor, you also need to have your Node.js installed. And as well as your. So I request you all to please be ready with your Visual Studio Code. Yes, I'll be helping you. After mastering the theory, it comes the time to start the practice, and then it may seem a little bit difficult also. Whereas how to start your application, what is the first thing I go first, which is the file I have to use first, and there will be all these starting things. But no, do this today. First thing is how to start your. We have how to get data, and then we have how to dis. So these are three things initially we are going to do. All right. So participants, are you all ready with your new folder? Once you are ready with your new folder, please let me know. In order to install your React, you need npm install installation command. I mean, I am installing to do npm install -g and create React app. This is a tool where you can just copy paste it, not type. All right. Is my voice clear now? All right. Let me repeat. I want you all to download Visual Studio Code in order to do the editing part of the code. And if you're flexible or comfortable with any other editor, that is fine. You can follow your own editor. And if you want to get integrated to your terminal, each time you have to use your CMD. So please, those who are using something else, please go to your normal command line prompt and try to install. And let us do in Visual Studio Code. All right. Everyone, Then go to open folder. File, open folder, and select whichever directory you want. And in that, write down React applications. Select this folder. You can write your folder anywhere you want, and you can find here there is an integrated command. In my system, it is already typed, so I'm not hitting enter. I request you all to hit enter. Once it is done, please let me know. We have to proceed as quick as possible in order to complete the application. It will just take 5 minutes. All right. Okay, install your Create React app tool. ReactJS creators, which allows installing ready-to-use ReactJS application with all the needed dependencies and all. To install the tool, we have to use the following command line prompt. That is your npm install global create hyphen react hyphen app. Complete this part. And after the process is completed successfully, it means you have installed it and you are ready to create your application. Before that, everyone, please also check that you have your node. You need a Node.js also. Any doubt in the installation of Node.js, please let me know. Okay. So any doubts in your Node.js installation, please let me know. Yes. Here you have to download this stable version. Don't download the latest release and all, because they be having bugs which has to be cleared. So please download stable versions and install. Okay, I will paste the official page where you can find the Node.js also. Now is it clear? You're able to see the link for downloading Node.js in your chat. Everyone can collect it. Okay. So here you can find the different versions available according to your system. Whatever operating systems you have, and check with your configuration on the laptops. Just go ahead, download it. For your Windows, you can download this one. You can go with the first one also. Please complete the installation. Alright, once you complete your Node.js installation, you can check in your CMD. I'm checking in the terminal of VS Code, which will act like my command line prompt only. So you can also check in your CMDs if you are using any other editors, Node-V. Okay. I need responses from the participants that you have completed the Node.js installation, you have completed the npx yes, create React app tool installation. Please. You can go and also check. All these commands I put in chat so that you can copy paste them easily. Okay. So once you check for version, it is clear that you have your required tools installed. So that you can get here. All right. Now it's using create React app tool. We can do it with single line command in a command line prompt. First navigate the folder wherever you want to have your application. So see that whenever I say navigate your folder and check, what I mean is you have to be in your command line prompt highlighting. I'm inside my F, okay, F drive, and I have created my folder React application, and inside that I am starting my first application. So this is the way you should start. All right, and then run the following command. In order to create your first React app, you have your npx. Okay, this npx you have in order to run your create React app tool. Okay, you can initialize it with your first application. You can give any name you want. Okay. And the naming conventions are there here. Every letter it accepts this. It doesn't accept any capital letters. So please be clear with that. All right. Everyone is doing along with me. So this session to practically do things. And each command I am posting in the chat. You can view those commands in the terminal also, and you can see how it is executing, running the npx create React app now. New application, and if the process is finished, you should have your folder with your application ready. That is, your React application has been started. And in order to check whether your React application has started or not, we have to again navigate application folder. That we'll be doing in just 2-3 seconds. All right. You can observe this in your own systems. You have creating a new React app in the folder mentioned, installing the packages. It take a couple of times, and while installing, please see where I am highlighting. While it is installing and React scripts with CRA, all it is going to install. In each and every line, you can check. It will help you with what installing. Once this has completed, we can open our project and check what are all the next things we have to go over. Once you download your Visual Studio Code, yes, ma'am, Visual Studio Code is ready, right? Download and install. Once it is ready, please open the Visual Studio Code. In that, in the file, you can find open folder. Okay. In the open folder, you give your new folder. I have given React applications. Give whatever name you want for your folder, and then open the app. The installation command is in the chat box. I hope if you are from the first, you can check it. No problem. I will help you again in installation. So after installing, you can view your npm of this command. Here you can see the React which I have downloaded is 18.2.0. The stable version is 14.15.1. Yes, ma'am. I'll try my level best to make the voice clear. I'll try to speak louder also. Please let me know if you have any doubts until this part creating your React application. You can see the application is still being in the create state itself. The command which we have used to check the node version and as well as the rest of things are still available here. Here you can see in order to check node, we have no want this name, you can give any name. It's not necessary that you have to give React app only. So once this installation is, if there is a network fluctuations, it will take a little bit of time. Meanwhile, whoever is lagging behind can catch up as soon as possible. I'm repeating again, in order to start your create React app tool, already we should have your node version. Please take care of this, that you have your node version along with you. Okay. Yes, sir. I will check through that once again. Is the voice clear now, everyone? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Already you can see how it is generating each and every its dependencies while creating this application. It is trying to give all the dependencies available in your React app tool. Please check all these things. I hope in each and every one system it is present. You're going to navigate to open folder, that is your empty folder, and in your empty folder we are going to create the first application. So if you observe here we have React application folders map. So this is the empty folder. Just open it, and you can see in your terminal it gives that location as f:/React applications. So until that we come and we try to install the necessary things, that is our React tool and all, and we are now creating our application inside this folder. So we have to nothing to open there, only we have to keep it empty in order to create our new React application. So just we are navigating to the right folder where we want to create our application. Thank you. This is the first command to enter to the folder, and the second one starts your app. Okay, so the first thing is you set your location where you want to work upon, and then you set all your versions and check whether the versions are available in that particular folder. If not, so you try to install them. Sorry. If not, so try to install them. And after the app is started, the browser window will be populated. And once you see the browser window, you can see an empty React application, and that React application will come along with the user interface of default React itself. So that's the greatest thing, because previously when we used to do the applications, this was not the scenario. We used to get an empty blank page stating our only the local host whichever is available. But nowadays you are able to see the inbuilt folder UI also, where the declarative UI has actually to render. That part is also clearly available. Taking some more time. I hope in all of your systems it's ready. Please let me know. So this is the basic part we all have to complete today, and I'm trying to give you little scenarios besides creating the web application itself. Some simpler things like how to create your class component and functional components, and where is the use of these representations of the data also inside your declarative UI and how you bind your data also. So these are the things we are going to see today. All right. So you can see how fastly it is extracting. It's extracting all the necessary files. If you are facing any problem in the installation or in the creation of the app, please let me know at least through the chat. I'll be checking my chat also. And if you're comfortable speaking upon also, that is also fine, totally fine. Meanwhile, the installation is going on. We can have a good interaction. Please let me know. No one is facing any problem in the Node.js part installation. And also, please let me know you don't have any problem in the React app installation. Is everyone okay? And everyone has created their own React app. Please let me know if you're ready with your first React application. If you're ready, I can help you with the next command which you have to start. All right. So just open the source folder. Yes, in Visual Studio Code. You need to create your own folder in whichever directory you want. It's a normal thing only, like we create our project folder in our respective directories. It's better not to create in C drive. You can use the remaining drives. Wherever you want, you can create your folder, ma'am. And once you create your folder, thereafter try to install your this one. Create React app 2. So today our goal is to complete a web application. And while completing the web application, we are going to see all the things. Okay. In order to do that, I hope my terminal is available. Before proceeding with the new application creation, please check here for your Node version, Node-V. Then you have to check for your React also. Once you confirm that these two versions are available, then only we can use npx create React app. Here you have to write your application name. So whatever name you want to give, you can fill it in that space. So once there is a code, you can see your app folder, you can see your package.json, and you can see your default React app also. And we can then make the changes in that and try to add few things in that. And whatever I am adding, I'll be posting in the chat so that you can copy paste easily and you can also implement them. So we'll be doing in the easiest manner. I hope everyone is ready. Once you create your first React application, okay, please let me know. I have given my React application name as React app. So now I have to navigate to that folder. So what I do is I give cd space React app. As we usually use cd command in the same manner, you have to navigate to your folder and thereafter give npm to check with the initial application start. Please check whether your application has been started or not. Yes. Initially, you have to start with your application. And once you complete the app creation, please navigate through all the files you have. And please let me know if you don't understand any file present there. You can ask me why this particular file is present, what, or else you can ask me in this particular file what I have to do. So today's session should be an interactive session so that we can complete the basic things. Tomorrow's session is also practical session where you're going to learn high-end applications. Ma'am, can you send me the error or can you speak out what is the error so that I can help you? You can copy the error statement and paste it in the chat, or you can just speak out. Node is not recognized because there is no node downloaded and installed, ma'am. Please download node and install. In order to do that, I have posted the official website of the node where you can download it. I will again post it, ma'am, once again. Yes, ma'am, I have posted the link. From here, you can download the node according to your operating system and the versions you want, and then install it. Once you install it, the node-v command will work, ma'am. After every installation, please close your terminals and open it again, or else it will show some errors. I hope remaining participants are going well and they have navigated to their React application and they are done with their npm start and are able to see in the local host 3000 their application running. Please go to your Google browser and type your localhost :3000. Yes, ma'am. Once installation is completed, please close the terminal or the CMD, whichever you were already using. And again, open new terminal or new CMD, and thereafter type node space -b. You can just copy it from the chat now. Close the old terminals, ma'am. Please close the old terminals. All the participants, I request you, please let me know if you are in any problem or something. And here in my terminal, you can see how the new application has been started. All right, this new application, you can directly connect it to the JIT repository. JIT repository is the global repository of projects and folders of any language, not only React, but also Java, Angular, or Vue.js, or PHP, or whatever you're going to create. Please find there are few, and this is what the next step we are going to do. And in order to do all these npm commands, you have to navigate to your application. Now I'm navigated to the location of my application. You can observe it here. So first, navigate to your folder. You can observe your location, whatever name has been given. And first step which we are going to do in the initial stages of your application is only you're going to use npm start. And suppose I am going to render this entire browser to my production server. At that part, I need the build also to run npm live, ready to use for all the users. At that time, we are going to use this. An npm test we have seen in the day before yesterday. As the name itself tells you, it will remove this build dependencies only, along with the scripts and all whatever app directories you find. So usually we are going to use these 4 commands only. For today's session, we'll be using npm start itself. And in the last session, we will be seeing how to take the application into the live production. And this you will be viewing the difference between ReactJS app and as well as React Native. Okay, the very first thing we are going to do is start the empty application npm start. And meanwhile, npm start runs. Let us navigate here in the folder structure. In the folder structure, you can find node modules. Don't worry about the node modules. These are the respective dependencies which we need for our React application. So don't bother about what each and every file has to do with and all. Just remember that this will help us to interact with our React app tool. Next, you find a public repository. The public repository, why it is useful, I'll let you know soon. And here in this public repository, all right, we are interested only in, okay, you can see here the word in my terminal. Please now see in the terminal, starting the development server. and it has compiled successfully, giving me a comment. You can now view the React app in the browser. And no doubt use npm run build. So this is not the optimized version. This is your view version, and this view version is until the development stage. While you are developing, you have to always use npm start. Now, you can directly navigate to this with the help of your control to view upon. So here you can right. Think. Yes. Ask me, ma'am. Can you please give me host access? Please go with npm start. Meanwhile, I'll get my host access, and I hope all of you have started your application and you're running your npm start also, and you're able to see the default React app. I'm opening the application in the Chrome. You can open the application in whichever browser you want. Please check here in the URL. I'm just using my localhost :3000. You can see the default one I have achieved until this part. Let me know, please. Participants, please let me know that you have achieved this output, creation of first default React app page. You're able to see the default React app page in the first application, whichever you have created. And there is no doubt in that. And please, all the participants, please let me know if you are in any trouble or something. Okay. All right. All right, now enter into the Visual Studio Code. We'll be swiping between the output and the input, and this compiled successfully will appear. Organization of your application starts from your index.js. So you can find your index.js folder here. Alright, you can see the command here. Your root is being created, and in order to render your root, you should get element by the root. And once you have noticed this, here you can find the div whichever is given. It's assigned the ID root. Alright, so the next thing which index.js will do is, and this is what the root is also. So this is the thing where you can load all. Now here, if you observe, there is an image called the logo. Alright. So in this output, able to see this ReactJS logo, right? This image which it was referring to, and this is an SPGS, so it is rotating. What kind of image you want, you can use static image also. But see in your code, let me shift to Visual Studio Code. Okay. So these are the things we find. Now in the Visual Studio, what we are trying to do is we are trying to remove this entire code which is available by default. And I'm going to use only my H1. In that header, what we are trying to do is give some hello FTP participants, something like this. I'm going to do participants. All right. So this way we are trying to do the updations in the render part, and we are trying to understand how to give our own declarative UI, that is your user interface. So this is the first part we are doing. Now, so logo is, you can see there is a warning that logo is defined but never used. Where it is defined? It is defined with the import statement. You are trying to import your logo here. So we just remove the import statement. Yes, now it is compiled successfully. All right. So let us go and check the output also. You can check your output here. So it's giving hello FTP participants. Now, what you are trying to design will be flowing upon. So let us do the first part here. Please keep in mind whenever you are trying to do this, be very clear with what you are exactly using. So once this is over, now we are trying to create an API call. Let us open the code of the application. All right. So let us see the initial output once again as requested. So here you can see I didn't remove the default div. I have kept it, which is referring to the app. Even you can change this one also. But if you want to use anything here, it's better to have the class name app here. And remaining things I have removed. If you are, this was the default page. So I removed these default things because now I want to create my own things. So herein I have hello. This is the message I'm typing, FTP participants. So this part we are ready with. Tomorrow's session is also practice. Be strong in today's session. Please, I request you all. Please see that you are able to achieve this. Once you are able to achieve this only, we can further proceed into creating your data integrations and all. So here in the screen, again, you have to refresh your local host and you can find this one, hello FTP participants. So this is the output. I made a single change. Just remove the word W. You can see the updations being done automatically. Rarely you are required to reload or refresh the page. It will do it from its side itself. That is another advantage of React environment. Now let us quickly proceed. Everyone is able to see my Visual Studio Code. Okay. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to open the code application, and we have to just try to integrate some data with the business. That is the first part we are going to do. Now, you can remove your CSS, you can remove the images, whatever it's provided in your default app, whichever you are using to create and all, and you can custom your JXX code in the written statement and reload the entire thing, as we did with the hello FTP participants by writing that in H1 tag. Okay. Now the first thing we are going to do is we are going to set a local state where we are going to save our data from the API. So for that, what we are going to do is we are just going to create one default constructor, whichever is available, and send to that local state. Not to do that, yes, you have to do this under your app only, and for that you have to utilize your React component. Okay. After writing the less, it will save it. Since we didn't interrupt this compilation, we didn't stop this compilation, so it will automatically update in your localhost 3000 again. So no need to give npm start again. Now let us suppose I have stopped this interruption. Let us suppose I have given Control C. Using Control C, I have stopped this and terminated this, where it will ask me yes or no. I'm entering yes. You can find that in my terminal. Once I press Control C, the operation has been terminated and it asks me for the confirmation. Here is Control plus C. So this is the thing we are doing. And I give here an S. So it will terminate, and you can see it is in the default state of entering the command. So again, in order to run that, I have to give npm start again, and then only it will start running. So meanwhile it runs, let us do this part. Let us try to create this one. If you want to use this, you can use this app.css, or you can remove that if you don't want to include it. Alright. Here you can see the output. This is the default. By default, it will create. And if you want to change the browser, okay, just close this one and open it in your Chrome. So this way you can open it in your Chrome. Now, whichever browser you have set default, it will go to that browser automatically and open your localhost. So that's the part exactly happens. Okay. Now please try to create a class component. The first step is to try to create a class component. In order to do that, what you have to do is import your component from React. For now, I don't want this CSS, so I'm just making it. You can keep it also. So what I am interested in import React. Alright. And here you are taking your component. So for that, what you have to do is capital R. Now you have your, by default you can find that. Please terminate your this one, ma'am. npm start. You stop your npm start with the help of Control C, and again give npm start. Please see that you have first given Control S to save the changes in the code, and check the output is updated. If not so, then terminate and then just start the npm. All right. So you can also use the same interpolation. Okay. In order to include your component, and you can see this type of coding is required, and to do this from your React itself. Few cases it is available by default, you need not import them for few cases. And here you can see now remove this functional component. This is the functional component written for app. Remove that and just a class app. Try to assign it a component using extents. Now we are making use of class component. Okay. And then what we have to do is you're going to use your constructor. In the constructor, you're going to pass your props, and then you're going to create a local state. This part, constructor and super, is similar to OOPS concepts, and the word super also works in the same manner. And thus, and here you're able to use this dot state because it is a local state. Whenever I write this keyword, I mean that I'm going to use the particular constructor props itself. So this dot state is equal to, inside this I have created an empty array. This line states that it's an empty array, post colon. You can see this is an array like symbol. So please try to copy this. The next part we are interested in is how to render this. Until now, you can find there are two errors because it is unable to render it. And here also you can find a problem. Okay. So now we have to further proceed with rendering this application. In order to render, you have to use the render function available by default. Okay. Render this manner. Okay. And inside this, you can written whatever you want. Okay. Use this. We are trying to return hello world, or you can return this particular thing also. This return the same thing. Here I can change the message. It's a class component. Previously, which we saw, the default is a functional component. Now it's a class component. This part we have done. My terminal is ready. It's compiled successfully. There are no errors. It has, sorry, one second. It has created the class component successfully. Now let us see how to pass this prop and how to implement the state also. Before proceeding to that, let us once check the output in the browser. We have written it's a class component, so we should be able to see that part. Alright. So this time I removed the CSS, so I'm not able to see the CSS here. In order to see the CSS, what we can do is go to this again. Alright. Here we have commented the app.css. So now uncommented. Now let's go to the browser to check whether it has implemented CSS or not. Yes, now you can find your H1 tag in the middle. Alright. I hope until now everyone has come into the flow. Now, let me help you with this entire code. Now we are no more using class components. We are using only function components in each and every app. So this is the first example on class component. All right. Whenever you have a class, okay, the export default and space app name is necessary, component name is necessary, because once I write this only, I'll be able to export it to any other file required. So here, whenever I write export, that's the reason you are able to check into your index.html where it is using ID as root. So the default is app, so that's why you're able to see this. In the chat, I am just putting the entire class component creation along with creation of props and local state. In this example, we have created a property, it's props, and we have created a local state using this keyword. So these two things I have. And all the participants, are you okay with this? Everyone is able to see the output? Is everything clear? I hope everyone is able to do that. If you are unable to understand any line of code, you can please copy paste it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now I have added constructor and passed the props and then set the local state with the post as an empty array. These are the things we have done. And why I need this empty array is because we are going to post some data from your external API also. So that's the reason we are going with post. And we are going to use general API, which is available in the testing purpose, which is available for the testing purpose. We are going to use only that. If you have any API URL, you can follow that. I have put the default one in the chat box. Now, the next part we are going to do is we are going to use the lifecycle component. Under that component did mount. So how you are going to check the responses is at the component did mount level. And you all know why component did mount level. Yes? Okay, I'll be explaining that also soon. For now, just let me explain this particular part. Okay, so the did mount, we are trying to create one URL const. Okay, for that we have assigned the default API whichever is available. All right. Then what I am trying to do is I'm using fetch. Fetch is a function which will help you fetch particular URL string. To that, okay, I am giving dot then in order to send the response and receive the response in the JSON format. We are using here arrow function again here. And finally, this JSON, I am setting it to the local state which we have already created. It has to recognize this URL. Okay, for now, just give me 1 second. Okay, the variable is only u. So whichever variable you give, the same you try to use. URL, right? Okay, 2 times it entered the fetch. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. So this manner, the state we have assigned here, that is the post. This is the local state, right? To this, I'm trying to assign my JSON. And here you observe the function which I'm using is set state. So in order to store the responses, I'm using set state. So I'm setting my all the JSON over here. So now this post has your entire data. So what you all can do is just utilize this code, and I hope you understood each and every line we have used there. And this is the default syntax. There is change is this URL. If you are going to receive some other data from some other API, we'll be changing this URL. And then this is the post array you have created by default in your local. And if you're going to give any other name, the same name has to be placed. So these are the 3 things which you are going to change in the default syntax. And the function is component did mount, right? Okay. Please paste this part in your code also. In the above, I have fetched the data from the API and saved that in our state. Now let us take a look in the format of the data before we display our post. So in order to do that, you can just console your post. Okay. Displaying the data, we have some course data, and we would like to display them and make it good looking without any like there may be some CNDs also in your application. Let us suppose you are installing Bootstrap and all. If you don't want to install the package, you can directly go with CND. That is having the link pasted over in your head session. So that we can do. So now I'm not installing the Bootstrap. I'm just going to use the CND of Bootstrap. And in order to install any link, as usual, you have to do it in your index.html in the link section. So nowhere else we are going to do. And let me do that. Let me copy the CDN of Bootstrap available in the Bootstrap website itself. We are copying that only. So now go to this index.html. You know, this is the link section. Whatever links you want by default for the entire application, then you paste it here. Suppose it is for a particular component, suppose it is for only app.js, then you have to use app.css to import it, or you can directly import it here. Yes, ma'am. This is the entire app.js. For your reference, I'm copying this entire thing, putting in the chat, and name it app.js. After applying component itmount, this is the way the code appears. So the only change we did is added this part. Inside this function, I'm trying to assign the JSON from the external API to the local state array post. So this is the part we have done here. The syntax will never change. Only the value which you are passing and where you are assigning will change, because that is what we are doing. So this is the syntax. And next in index.html, I have pasted the CDNA. So I'm just saving it. And the next part which we are going to do is we are going to fetch this data and see. And now we are going to do the changes in the JSX code for our data. And all right, before doing that, let us check what's available in this external API. So I'm just stopping this, just taking you to the browser. Inside the new tab, let me paste. Okay, I'm sorry. We have to paste only the link. I've already posted the link in the chat. Again, let us go to the browser. Let me paste this link. Now here you can see a beautifully designed JSON, which is having a square bracket also. If any JSON has a square bracket, I can directly assign this JSON to my array. If it doesn't have any square bracket, then I have to take care how to assign it to JSON. So that part is also there. So this beautifully assigned JSON you can have, it has this many number of data. Okay. And in this, what we are interested is, we have to check what is available for us. The available thing is user ID, and then title, and then body. So these are the available things. And I can't change the name assigned here in my JSON file. So I'll be using the default one. Any doubts? So this is the data external API provides us, and we are going to now take this data to our user interface and produce this data to our users. So whoever is viewing in the browser should be able to view this data now. So that part is. I'm sorry, like did mount is a part of component lifecycle in ReactJS, right? In your ReactJS component, you have its own lifecycle. We have seen the architecture also yesterday. So whenever you want to render something, whenever you want to set something, you can directly go and do it in the did mount part. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. So that's why we are making use of that function. And again, we will make use of another lifecycle also, lifecycle component. Let us proceed now. So in your render, here if you observe, inside your render, we have only H1. Now we are going to insert few other things, things which we want to display as it is available in the JSON. This is an URL which is having some JSON data, ma'am. Okay, JSON data is the data available. Like there is some data. It can be a data from your API application programming interface, that is a data from an external software, or it can be a data of your own, or it can be data from an AJAX request. So all these data, finally, the format should be converted to JSON. And why JSON is because at that, that type of data only you can assign directly to the array whichever you are creating, either in your scripting languages or in other any languages also. So that's the reason. And URL is in your external API, that is it's some data which is available from your other interfacing software. So that data you are trying to set it, yes, again get it, and again you are trying to post it in your application. Once you post it, you are able to view in your user interface. So that is the actual scenario happening. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the container and Jumpatron, all these available in the Bootstrap, and you can give whatever type of headings you want, any manner. This is the first part we are going to do. Here, just remove this. Just try to give your div. Right. Inside that, another div. First one, to understand that there is a div, parent div, and then there is a child div. So first one, I will make a global div where I'm going to assign the Bootstrap container. Bootstrap part is covered by Vikavani ma'am. You can follow her. And here you have your Jumpatron. Okay. And I can give my heading here H1. So please try to give relevant heading. We found the data available in the external API is user ID and title and body. So that is something related to books. I can give available, or you can give list of whatever manner. Okay. And again, next, you can check the output. This time, when we check the output, we should be clear that we are able to see. Right, so we have set it into the gem pattern. We have implemented our bootstrap successfully. So next, what I have to do is, again, let me go to the Visual Studio Code. You can see here, getting into our Visual Studio Code. Now again, I'm going to use the concepts of Bootstrap. So first I created my heading, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cards available. You can go with card and card header, and you can design it as per your use, card body and card title. So let me do one thing. That thing I can copy from the Bootstrap that I can use directly. So I've added a container, a header, and a card, and where I'm going to display the data from my local state, which I have stored in the post array. So for this, what we have to do is you have to map the data method and as well as the post array. So in order to do that, you are going to use map function. Okay, not to achieve it, we are going to use map function. So I'll just copy the outer body so that we will not waste time in designing this. Put this entire inside this. So inside your card, you have your heading, card header, and then you have your body. What I did here is I have given what are the supporting things it has to show me. Now I will bind my data to this. So there is one warning. Let us check. 6 and somewhere we have. So warnings will not disturb us, but it is better to check with them. So let me use this in the end. So this is the empty card we have created. All right. Here you can see how this has come. And now this is only your static HTML when you have your view available. There is no backend data binded to it. Until now, we have only set our data into our own state, that is the local state which we have created. And where we have stored is in our post array. So in order to bind that, we are going to use map function. Now let's return to the code. Here in your Visual Studio, display it. So for that, what we have to do is, we understand that JX has to do one-way data binding. So in order to do data binding, you have to use your arrow function, and you can use. So wherever necessary, you are going to use your interpolation. And before that, you have to keep in mind we are going to use the callback with the help of map. For that, let me help you with the syntax. Just give me one moment. So here inside your card, the exact data starts from your card itself. So nothing you have to do in your Jumpatron part. So what I'm going to do is in my card, I'm going to give the callback. So before this, you can write your syntax here. Okay. So here I'm utilizing the post method. There is one more. This is your map. Inside your map, this is the simplest form of the syntax. So I'm using for the post array, I'm assigning my map method. And now I'm going to start to use this map method to help with the rendering of the data. In order to do that, I understand I'm going to post the data, whichever I have set. So I use post. You have many other options also. Post message and all. You go just with the default post one. So now further, what we have to understand is this entire thing which we are going to do is inside your HTML also. So that HTML part you have to include under this. So whenever you write a callback, this section is for your HTML. So I remove this flower brace from here and I take it here. Keep it here. Just slowly we will clear this error also. Don't worry about the error now. And next, what I have to do is I have to please everyone. One more part which we have to do is we have to set the local state to our variable. So that part of binding where we can do is that you can do it after written, but better it you do before written. Any value you want to fetch. Here you create post is available. Then you try to assign your local state to this. This part you come. Now we are ready with to write our callback. Now wherever necessary, wherever you need to fetch the data, you are going to do the data binding. Okay. So in order to do the data binding, we always use the flower braces. And whenever I use the flower brace, I understand that I am binding my data to my HTML. So first one is your card, and in the card you are trying to post the ID. So I can write that in this manner. See, I told I have post after Jumpatron, right? But what I did is I wrote after the card itself. Let me correct this. This part should come before the card because data binding. So that is the reason. This is the way we have done mistake. So I'm sorry extremely. I didn't observe the statement down there. So this happened. So we are going to write this before card only because for inside the card also I'm going to assign my value. So that is the reason. Wherever you start your data to bind, from there you have to obviously take this. That is the only. So for this you can use key and you can assign whatever you want. So I'm going to assign post ID. So that you take this. Already your data is binded to your array post. So post dot ID. This ID from where I am writing this ID is, you all have to understand this. This variable is available in this part in your external API. This is available here. So that is why I am able to use ID there. Or else I can't use ID there. So the same name, whichever is present here, that only I can use. I can use post.user ID, I can use ID, I can use title, and I can use body. Only these names I can use, which is available in your data, right? Which is not available, we can't use, and of course it can't refer also. That way it is not possible. So the first thing I assigned is your ID. This part you can check here. Of course, in the end we will be taking this entire code. Please just let us concentrate on how we are the data. So that is the important part. In your card head, you try to bind your ID, post dot ID, and as well as post dot user ID. Okay. So these both things we are doing. And next available data is name and I think title, right? So we'll make use of title and body also. So in your header you can make use of title, and in the text part we can make use of body. So this is what we are using the Bootstrap card for. So in my text part I can remove this text now. I'm trying to delete this. And what I'm trying to post here is always inside my flower braces only. Post is available dot body. Body is having the necessary content, and here you find I've given some title also. So I understand that the space is available for title dot title. Alright. So this way I am creating my first card. The error still exists because I didn't close the map, I suppose. If I close it, it will go away. So there are two things to close. One is the post callback and another one is map. So both the braces I have to give. I think I just closed. Only map part and close the callback. So for that, what we can do is open your map entirely and then close your map here. Just give me 1 second. Inside your map only we are passing the coast, right? So this part is correct. Here you open it. That part is over. Then this entire thing you can put inside the map itself. I think wherever the card closes, you can close that. Once you close the card in the proper div only we have to put, or else such errors will we are ready to go with. And let us go and check the output and let us see whether we have binded the data successfully or not. Do that. Browser. Alright, you can find everything. ID we were able to fetch correctly. We didn't fetch a title and body. Let me check what's wrong with that. Let us again go. Changes we have done right now is only in the render part. So I'm just giving you all the render code. So please make use of it. And if anyone was doing along with me, and if there are any errors also, you can please make use of it. The only thing we have to keep in mind is whenever we are trying to post a data, we should keep in mind that from which div to which div we are going to post this. And inside that, the particular div has to be present. And the actual meaning is inside this callback, I am taking this entire view. Okay, that is your HTML. And for that only I am utilizing this. Now let us check this here itself. Let me take title here. Let me check that I'm able to see the title. Because if there is any error in the card also, title still didn't appear. Let me check. Just give me 1 second. Let us check what exactly is happening. So it's only unable to fetch title. Let us check what is the variable name exactly given. It's only title and body. I'm just copy pasting it so that there won't be any error. Until now, we were able to only fetch post IDs. Meanwhile, please, all the participants, please check at your end you are able to fetch the title in the body part. All right, let me do something like this. Here you can give keys equal to. It's not necessary. It's come by default. Let us do this part. Check. And the key you can give also as an attribute to the HTML element. You can't give it as a string. Let me explain. Whenever I am giving it inside content of the HTML, I do it like this. Whenever I'm giving it as a key to assign, I'll do like this. So these are two different things. This is string. This is not string. This is the key to refer the particular JSON. It's not string. So let me try something like this. Next, we are able to see. Please let me know if any participant is able to see. Please let me know, participants, if you have achieved the output. Yes. Correct. So we have passed the data from the post to the card element, and we have set the post.title and post.body and the post.id as a key for an event. Okay. Index.html, we didn't do any changes in that. We have just included the CDNA. So I'm just taking it to the index.html. This is PDN. Alright. And this is available in any Bootstrap sites, whichever version you want to include. We have included Bootstrap 4. You can see here the version 4.3.1. You can just copy paste the link available there and just do it. You all want me to change this? No, no, no. Already we were able to see the default things which we typed there. Check here. I'm just doing Control Z. Please don't worry. Alright, in this part, what we did is we have put our default HTML and we checked whether it is showing us the exact thing, the card style and all. It did show us. I know. That's also. Can remove this. When we need control Z. Right. So we were able to achieve this. I did only one mistake. I placed one arrow tag extra. That's why it didn't appear. The rest of the things are same as we did. And for your reference, I'll post the code here. The first thing you have to do is after your render starts, whenever you come inside your render, you can declare whatever variables you want. And what you have to return is only the binded JSX. Always remember, inside your JSX, no declaration of anything. The HTML and it's binding to the data. Please copy paste this, everyone. And once you do that, your render will appear like this and help you with that also, because suddenly if you feel way to place some render part of the code, entire render, and paste the code which is present in the chat. So now we are able to see this is the way you have to achieve. So I changed entire render, but the data binding and everything is same. Please try this. Again, we will resume the session by 2:30. Any doubts, or shall I wait, or shall I leave? I did a mistake only in closing the arrow tag, so it didn't get binded correctly. That is, there was a mistake in the bootstrap part. The rest of the things are similar. You set your map to the post, you assign post, and then in your callback, you're taking your entire HTML, and here the actual binding starts. You pass your key only for ID, and with the help of that itself, it will fetch everything. Your title, your body, and all. Whatever you want, it to fetch. Here you try to add h5 and try to call class name. Inside that, give card title. Again, this is the string, right? Here always we give some string. So the interpolation is this way, dot title, post dot. And always remember, post is the variable I have taken for the map. So I will use post only for all the bindings. And here the data is binded in one way. In order to achieve two-way data binding, there are two other methods we have to follow. Let me stop. You can see in your title card also, this is your head file. You're able to see the Right. And as well as in the edit. You're able to see it. Right. Okay. So shall I end this session? Is there anything else you all want to ask? Or shall I end the session for now? Or shall we discuss for 5-10 minutes about what we have seen? Now this is the way we are doing the Bootstrap part, right? In the similar manner, you can use material UI. The only thing is you should know how to name the classing conventions and how to use the different features available in the material UI. It is similar to how you learned your Bootstrap in the same manner. And next, what we have to do is please note down. I request all the participants to note down this. The first thing you have to create is a grid of 6 sections. Grid of 6 sections. In that, okay, in that, please try to present either products or any other information as I did. Please use default fake APIs. Don't use any external APIs which is available. Please use fake APIs. Now I am copying this entire app.js and pasting it in the chat. Since it is very big, I'm unable to do. I'll try to paste it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you, participants. Thank you so much. Please try to create a grid of 12 sections or 6 sections and try to complete this. Okay. Please take any other APIs available. Many APIs are available either for feature flames or for products, something like that, and create a new user interface. It should have grid of 6 sections above and 6 sections down. So in that manner, please try to create. You can utilize Bootstrap, and Bootstrap was taken care by Durga Bhavani ma'am. So please go through the session and complete this. Thank you all. I'll be posting the code in the WhatsApp group. Please don't worry about that. Thank you.